Okay, today we are going to do another V-carve. It's going to be a Christmas gift for my mom. I've already put together the layout and everything that I want. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and highlight everything. Okay, I say we are. Computer will work. Okay, there it goes. We're going to hit shape. We're going to hit the center right there. And we're going to put 0 for that. And 0 for that. Wait, that didn't work very well. So what we're going to do is hit edit. See how everything moved halfway off? Hit undo move, edit, undo move, and we have everything put back together. We go ahead and zoom this out. Let's see, hit edit, just to check to make sure. Alright, and we're going to try this again. The whole project. There we go. Center, we're going to 0, 0. And that way the center the project will be right here for when I set my board up on the machine. So this is going to be a V-carve. So what I have to do is hit machine. Get that to come up. And we will hit advanced. Generate G-code. Now, features of V-carve using Easel Pro. I don't have Easel Pro. I have free. So again, I will have to use a free day. So now I've used a free day. Close this back off. We will hit generate G-code. It'll get there eventually. My internet is just being slow today. Alright, now it's saying it is simulating toolpath. We're just waiting on it to pop up with export G-code. We will hit export G-code. And it shows right here that it has saved. It is saved as momchristmas.nc. So what we'll do is we'll close this down and we will open up our UGS, which I've already got UGS set up. Got the machine centered. I'm sorry, I don't have the machine centered yet. I have it connected. What we will do is we will click this file right here. Let's see, why are we being so slow today? Here we go. We will go through the files and we will find where it is. Likely it's alphabetical. momchristmas.nc. Or you could have just typed it in. Alright, let's give it a second to load. And there we go. And it shows all the tool paths. This project here, it's kind of a family tree thing. You know, it's just together we make a family. Mimi and Papa. It's got my name and my wife, all of our kids with birth dates on this side, and then it's got my sister and her husband and her kids and their birth dates right there. So next what I need to do is I need to set my 0. To do that, we'll hit jog the controller. X, Y, everything like that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to return to the 0 from our previous project and work my way from there. So I'll hit that and we'll get started. And I'll show you that. Return to 0. That was my previous 0. So what I'll do is Z it up where it's not dragging. And I will X forward. I'll Z it up just a little bit more just in case so it doesn't drag. And we will X forward. And let me use my other light and we will make sure where we are. I need to Z forward a little bit more. I'm sorry, X forward. Put a negative Y, one little few bumps, and we look like we are set. Now let me find my little handy dandy post-it note. Stick that there, and we will get a hold of it again. Z, negative, just to where it's grabbing. Barely grabbing, see? And then we will hit right here on the screen, reset 0. Now like I show you in all my other videos, I hit the home button just to test it. I'll re-home the machine, and hopefully we won't have all the issues we had last time as far as machine issues. When I did this, I went ahead and I slowed the feed rate down from 50 inches per minute to 25. And I did that in the easel, which I showed you last time how to do. If not, when you're on your easel, right hand corner, you'll see where it says cut settings. You'll hit manual and you'll manually enter in the feed rate that you want. Now let's see here, I want to hit return to 0. And it's going to go right back where I need it. And remember, when you do this, it is loud. It does cause dust. So you need breathing, ear, and eye protection when you do this. Alright, I'm going to get this started here, and we're going to go. Alright, I'm going to try to get you set up on a good camera angle where you can kind of see, and we'll get going. That's what we got right there. And it'll get colored in, sanded down, colored in, everything like that. Show it to you when it's done. Okay, as I was saying, I'm going to show you how I paint these things. Normally, I use spray paint method, which I'm not going to use on this one because the material I bought had a couple dents and dinks in it that I didn't see until after I got home with it. Like right here and right in there. Now, unfortunately, if I did the spray paint method with that, which is what I do, is I take the material and I'll get the color paint that I want and I'll paint it. And the paint will stay down in the recessed little holes where the carving's at. Then I'll sand the top down and then I'll put whatever finish, stain, whatever like that on it. But with this, because of that, right there, it doesn't look like much, but it's enough that it'll show up if you put paint in it. So I'm going to use a different method. I'm just going to take cheap Walmart paint and take your brush that I got set up there and just blot it in. Alright, I'm going to do this side and then I will let y'all see it when it's done. Let's see if I can get you a good camera angle. Oh. Alright, paint's dried. Now I'm going to sand it down. I already kind of started a little bit, as you can see. But all I'm going to do is use some, I think it's 80 grit and a palm sander. I'm just going to kind of go over it, knock the surface off. Alright, that's what we got now. I need to blow it off, clean it up. Got a few little touch-up spots I need to hit with the Dremel. Just kind of fill out the letters a little bit, like right in here. On the E, on the L. Spots I missed earlier somehow. This board was slightly bowed when I did the V-carve. So for some reason, it only nicked some of these little spots. But it's not hard to do. Just a little Dremel and a fine tip will fix it. Dab of paint, then hand sand it back down. Alright, I'm going to blow this off. And then I'm going to stain it. And I'll let you see it when it's done. So, on the sign that I was working on, Christmas gift, that I was doing all the sanding and all that good stuff on, well, I didn't like how part of it turned out. So what I did is I went back, set the machine up, and I'm going to start it over. What I did, when I did the cuts, some of the things were just too shallow because it only ran just the tips in of the V-bit, and I kept having to go through and refill and recut just to make it look halfway right. And I didn't like that. I wanted it to be nice and uniform. So what I did was I went back into my easel, adjusted the cut depth from an 1/8 inch to where the whole project is just going to be a 1/4 inch depth. That way it will cut those narrow spots. It'll cut them deeper. So what I'm going to do, we're going to connect the machine. If it'll connect. I'm impatient. I know. Let's make sure we're plugged in. Alright, we got the machine hooked up. We're going to, let's see, we're going to home it first. Of course, we do that every time we start. We always home the machine first. With easel, kind of makes you do it just to make sure everything's set right where it needs to be. And now we're going to turn to 0. Now I need to set my 0 because it is off. Not by much, but it is off. So I'm going to give it a couple of bumps. I'm going to Z it up. And we want to hit Y positive. And we look like we are a little far forward. Let's see, we will hit some more white positive. And let's hit some Z negative just to see where we drop our tip. See, that's right about where we need to be. But we're still a little too far, so now we need to Z up. Hit some Y negative. And let's Z down. We'll Z up. And we'll Z down again. Oops, a little too far. Alright, and we'll do the paper trick and then I'll get it started. I'm not going to film the whole thing cutting again. It's going to be just like before, but I'll show you basically after it's painted, after it's sanded. Okay, so before I said I had restarted the sign because I didn't like how some of it turned out. Well, I thought it was something with the machine, which I was having a couple machine issues that I fixed. They were off camera. I didn't record this last cut because y'all had already seen this previously. Now this one's got some dust in it still. I gotta blow it out with the sander. I'm sorry, not the sander, but the air line, because I just finished sanding it. Now the spots that were messing with me before that I didn't like were spots like that right there, and how the letters weren't really complete in a certain couple spots. And I thought it was just because the wood was bowed. I thought maybe the wood had a slight bow in it. Well, after restarting it and everything like that, I even went back in and changed the cut depth on the easel. Made it cut a little bit deeper. Turns find out on easel it shows that these are getting cut. But what it is that's such a fine, thin line right there in those spots that for some reason the UGS won't pick it up, and it'll just barely drag the tip right across it just to make a slight little indentation, and that's it. So once I get all this blowed out and everything like that, I'm going to stain it and everything like that. But in some of these smaller spots where it didn't connect, I'm just going to take a fine tip marker and just connect it in the spots, just to kind of fill it out, to give it, you know, a complete filled look. So once I get this cleaned up and done, I'll show you that next step. So I kind of got started without you here. What I'm doing, just taking my old shop rag, wrap me up a good little corner, good little spot, stick my finger in, and I'm just wiping the stain on. The color I'm using is Minwax Wood Finish 231 Gunstock. I like the way the color looks, and it lightens up. Like I said, I like to use just a rag and just rub it in, because you can kind of work it in and it'll absorb real well into this pine. And just kind of take your time and work it in. That's all there is to it. And I kind of like, sometimes I'll take a scuff pad or something and I'll go over it, kind of give it a weathered look afterwards. Take it and just kind of blend it all in. I don't like using foam brushes. too much on my stains. Never really been one for doing that. Just don't like how it just seems like it glops up, whatever you want to call it, gloops up. And you'll get sometimes where, like I just did, I made it darker in that one spot. But, as I said, over time, this stuff will fade down as it absorbs into this wood. I use that furniture slats, pre-cut, glued together pine. It's generally the easiest to come by around here anyway. I could probably get online and order, but I like to be able to just go and grab something, knock some work out. And despite issues with milling it, which is my own learning mistakes, it cuts pretty good. But it is dry, so it does absorb a lot. And sometimes the ink or paint will kind of run in it, streak out. But generally, most of the time you can get a good sand on that and knock that out. Now, we'll have spots that'll turn up lighter as it absorbs in. So I'll just take it and I'll just keep going back and over it. Back and forth over it. So you got the desired tone that you like. And here we have it. Got a couple spots that looks like I need to fill in with some black right in there. But that ain't nothing but a black marker, paint pen, things like that. But that's all part of it. I appreciate it. Like I said, this is learning progress. Always welcome. for comments, advice, things like that. Now, before I'm done with this, I'm going to take it and I'm going to seal this edge all the way around, seal the back with stain, and then I will put a couple coats of polyurethane on it, put my hooks on the back, and we'll wrap it up. Be a Christmas gift. Again, thanks. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff for me. Comments are welcome. Advice, links to other videos, whatever you got for me. Appreciate it.